Good morning, my loves. Happy Tuesday. Lovely day here at the lake. Another day of 110. Oh boy, balmy 110. So, last week we talked about what is your definition of success. Well, over the weekend I talked to a young person that is very caught up in their looks and what they think the opposite sex wants. You never know. I mean, you just genuinely never know, so stop assuming. This young person they have a crush on somebody, of course, and they think this person only likes, stick figures, the Barbie look. Honey, this is what I told them. Sweetie, you need to realize some guys like a little more meat on the bone. I have a really good friend, somebody that I dated for years, and at the time, I weigh like 135 right now, but they like bigger girls. Great guy, just a really nice person. And he told me once, we were out, and he goes, you need to put on like 20 pounds. I thought, oh my God, no. Are you out of your mind? He said, no, I like thicker women. Well, good for you. I would feel horrible about myself. That's what it boils down to. How do you feel about yourself? Don't dress for what other people want you to look like or what you think they want you to be you. Because you never know what they like. This person, is just convinced that, the little boy she likes wants a walking stick figure. You don't know. You really, really don't know. He may be into chunkier women. A lot of guys are. And that's his choice. It's his right. Just like you may like tall guys, you may like short guys, you may like guys your same height. You may like thin guys, you may like the bodybuilder type. Everybody likes something different, and you can't assume what somebody likes. I was talking to somebody a few weeks ago, and we were talking about, what was it? Somebody we knew, just casually knew, but they had longer hair, like my length, which, God, I hope it grows out soon. But they had longer hair. I don't like guys with long hair. I'm sorry. I like a very clean cut look. Bald is fine. Clean cut, for me, is the only way to go. Some people like longer hair on guys. Hey, whatever works for you. But don't assume what I like. Don't assume what they like. You don't know. But you need to talk to your kiddos about what they see as perfection. Because this kiddo I was talking to saw herself as a hot mess. Sweetie, you're a little girl. You're still a work in progress. You won't be a finished project until you're probably 25. You're going to be growing and changing and hormones doing all kinds of crazy things. So just stop criticizing yourself. Eat healthy, exercise, back away from sweets and processed foods. Drink tons of water. Water will flush the fats. But stop beating yourself up because you're not where you want to be. You're a work in progress. We're all a work in progress. But stop assuming that everybody's going to reject you because you're not what you feel is the ideal. Your ideal may not be their ideal. Seriously. The guy that I knew, well, we're still friends, he doesn't like thin women. He likes thicker women. Well, sorry, baby. I'm not ever going to fit in that category, I don't think. I hope. But that's what people like. They like what they like. You may assume everybody likes pepperoni pizza. Well, there's some people that just don't. They prefer cheese, or they prefer meat lovers, or whatever. Stop assuming. Stop tearing yourself down because you don't think you're perfect enough. Honey, you're perfect right now. You are enough right here, right now, just the way you are. I promise. And there is somebody out there that sees you that way. And please, this goes for parents of boys and girls, let your kiddo know there's more to them than their body. I know little boys that are working out, trying to be weightlifters, trying to make that football team. You don't have to be built like a refrigerator. It's all in how fast you are, how your hands, if you have good reflexes, your hands, your feet. If you can block, you can tackle and things like that. But it's about speed and agility. Tell them that. Don't let them just go crazy about how their body looks. There is more to you than your body. There is your mind. You want to get into a great college or university, and you're hoping for a scholarship. Okay. So many kiddos are super just hyper focused on getting a football scholarship, a baseball, basketball, swimming, volleyball, whatever scholarship. That's fine. But there's more to you than that. Back in the late 2000s, I had the opportunity. My ex had graduated from Stanford Law, and we went to Palo Alto a lot. We had friends there. And we were at Stanford, and my ex was off doing God only knows what. I was sitting outside the bookstore having coffee, and a young man, you could tell he was really thinking deep, and he just came over and said, "Can I sit with you?" Okay, sure. And he just started talking, and that's fine. People open up to me. And he couldn't decide if he wanted to stay in college and finish his senior year or go pro. Amazing football player. He just didn't know what he was going to do. He was just flummoxed. So we talked. And he said, "Well, what do you think?" And I said, "Now, I'm talking as a mom here, but my brother was an athlete. So just please finish your education. Please. Because if you get hurt out there, you have to have a game plan. And don't think, oh, I'll just do commercials." Seriously. Don't think, well, I'll coach. You may not. Have a backup plan, and that backup plan should be your education. Always. We talked for probably 45 minutes, and I saw my ex coming, and the kid said, well, he had to go, and thanked me, shook my hand, and he said, "By the way, I'm Andrew Luck." And I introduced myself. I said, "Nice to meet you. I know who you are." Because he's one of my favorite quarterbacks, because I follow college ball. And very, very talented young man. And I think, I could be wrong, I can't remember. I think he ended up signing with the Colts or something like that, but he finished school. And I'm not saying I had anything to do with it, but you have to realize there's more to you than your athletic ability. There's your brain. Use it. How many athletes get hurt and they're out? That's it. They're done. Have a backup plan. Always have a backup plan. Always, always, always. I guess that's a nursing thing, because in intensive care, you always have plan A, B, and C, always ready to rock and roll. But teach your child there is more to them than their looks. There is more to them than their athletic ability. There's their brain. Use it. And please, please allow your kids to have a childhood. There are parents that are very driven. They want their kids hitting the books all the time. They study, for school, for their classes, and then they have the extracurricular. They're taking Latin. They're learning to play the violin, the cello, the piano, or whatever. They're taking karate. They're doing all kinds of things. And there's no time in their schedule to just be a kid, to go to the park and swing, to go to the zoo, to hang out, to do fun things with their friends, because their parents are pushing them so hard. And the parents will tell me they can have fun later. Yeah, when is that? After grad school? When they're trying to get a job and prove themselves professionally? No. Let a child be a child. I understand you want your kid to excel, to be the best, but they're kids. I know a lot of parents, and this is a real issue for me, that they live vicariously through their kids. That the parents are more driven than the kid is. And for the child, if they make the softball team, fine. If they don't, fine. But to the parents, no, you've got to make that team. You've got to do this. Maybe they don't have any interest in it anymore. Maybe it's not them. Maybe they want a year off. Quit living vicariously through your child. It's their life. If they don't have an interest anymore, that's their right. I don't care how much money you have invested in them. I don't care. It's not about you and your wallet. It's about your child. Allow your child to be happy. Have conversations with your kid once a month. So, are you still liking softball? Are you still liking basketball? I have a granddaughter that lives and breathes volleyball, and she's very talented. But she realizes there's more to life. So she's also taking up golf. And she's in AP classes. She's very smart. She's well-rounded. And that's wise. Always have the backup plan. Always. But let your kids be kids and have fun. Please. There's more to them than their body. There's their brain. Last thing I'm going to say, do not push your 8-year-old, 10-year-old, 12-year-old, 14-year-old to dress like they're 19. Little children should not be wearing belly shirts and shorts that show their butt cheeks. They should not. Do not send your kids to school like that. My opinion. They are advertising their sexuality, and maybe that's what the mom and dads want. They want them to be accepted and everybody to think certain things about them. They're advertising their sexuality, not just to their peers, but to pedophiles of all ages. Yeah. Kids don't understand that. A lot of adults don't understand that either. Dress your child age appropriate. Let them value their mind more than their body, more than their sexuality, more than sports. Okay? One old lady's opinion. I hope everybody, I need more coffee, obviously. Hope everybody has a great Tuesday.